You are now tuned in to the Project 365 experience.
It is with extreme joy that up here we welcome Sam Alamutu to the podcast. Sam is a Division I basketball player at the University of Vermont.
Yeah.
Sam, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yo, I
It's
know.
been a good time.
I know. I know. This is your first one, eh? Your first podcast. How do you feel?
It's cool, man. Like I never saw myself doing one this early in my career, but hey, I'm happy to be here, and hopefully I can, have a good conversation with you. So,
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to kind of have you on is because you're going through this path that a lot of people want to go to, but don't really understand. I kind of wanted you to break it down. So the path to being able to go to the D1 level, I think is often misunderstood.
Right.
I think a lot of people want to go there, but don't really understand what it takes.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, just to start it off, what is the biggest thing that you think a lot of high school players don't understand about how hard it is to get to that level?
I think they don't understand like the details about the work you put in that it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like even now in college, like I'm still learning, like, you know what I'm saying, how important details are, because that's what separates a Division I basketball player from even the NBA guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like the little details is what's gonna separate you. Like for me, I learned that probably around 10th, 11th grade, 11th grade. Like I started caring about what I ate. You know what I'm saying? Like watching what I ate. I remember my 10th grade summer, I was on a high protein diet. I was going to the gym at least 2 to 3 times a day. But like, what was I doing at the gym? I was lifting, I was stretching, I was, doing specific things that I need to work on to get me to the next level. Like a lot of guys don't realize, like, okay, yeah, you can put in the work for sure, but like it's also about what type of work you're putting in and like how efficient are you doing it? Like what are you actually doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like you can practice the same bad habit a bunch of times and think you're getting better, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? I think I was lucky because I was in an environment where I was able to grow. People cared about me. A lot of people my age and my teammates like went to the States and went to like these big like name prep schools and then got washed over because they weren't a priority there, or they weren't, you know what I'm saying, looked after. I was lucky enough to, at the moment I didn't realize it, but I was lucky enough to go somewhere, RNS, and shout out RNS in New Brunswick, Canada.
Yep.
I was lucky to go enough there with the coach, shout out Coach Damian Gay, who took me under his wing and like really cared about my development as a player and as a person. And like he pushed me to limits I didn't think I could reach. And like that was so important for me because like he taught me how hard it is to get there and like what the details actually mean. You know what I'm saying? Like how hard it is to go against the next guy who's doing the exact same thing as you. Like how are you gonna separate yourself? It's with the details, the little extra things you do, like watching film, stretching, eating right, drinking lots of water, stuff like that. Yeah.
It's funny you're saying details. I really like details. I find a lot of times as a coach, details, depending on certain players, if you don't have a relationship with the players, when you try to kind of help them understand the details, they kind of feel like, oh man, what's coach doing?
Yeah, like you're harping on them.
Yep. Yeah. Or even if, let's say I'm a coach and let's say I don't have a name, or I don't have a resume.
Yeah, they think you don't know what you're talking
about. They think you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So you were in a situation where you had a coach that, and like you said you had a great environment, somebody that cared about you.
Yeah.
If I am a player and let's say I kind of feel like I don't have that environment.
Yeah.
What do you think are some things that I can do to keep pushing to get to that goal?
Well, like if you're stuck at that point, feel like you just have to kind of shut out a lot of the outside noise, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, at first I didn't have that, like I said, like I didn't, but I just kept working, I put my head down, kept working. And like I try to find the people who actually did care about me, like my family members, and my friends, you know, that they care about me and want to see me succeed. And sometimes you might even have to like take things upon yourself. Like it depends on how bad you want it. Like if you gotta go do research or like watch YouTube videos, watch NBA guys, what they're saying, you know what I'm saying? Like watch how this guy got or read about how this guy got to where he went, you know what I'm saying? Read about the guys you watch on TV, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, you know what I'm saying, Kawhi Leonard, all these guys that made it to these levels. Like you got to read about them and learn about them for yourself, I think. And then when you get that opportunity to go somewhere with a coach likes you, you're already ready, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's I think at that point it's about how bad you want it. Because a lot of the time, like from a young age, I was told like, oh, you're probably not gonna go D1 or play like high level basketball. So like don't really worry about that too much. But you know, I was lucky enough to have a high support system at back home. Shout out to both of my parents. Like they always like believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And like that's very important too. Like believing in yourself. Like as cliche as it sounds, like
I know.
it sounds so cliche, but it's like it's the only real truth I can give people. Like I at times, even when I was my lowest, I still had like this is what I wanted, and like this is my main goal. So like no matter what happens, I'm gonna keep pushing for that. Like I was cut from Ontario basketball. I didn't make, you know, the Boston Futures game. Like all the guys who I played against with the guys who I thought I was better at the time, you know, were doing all these things. And then I was just like looking there like, wow, like, you know, like what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? Like I'm doing the same thing these guys are doing. Why am I not getting these opportunities? My dad told me, he was like, just keep working, son. Like your time will come. Then RNS came up. Originally I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like this is in the middle of no. I don't even know where New Brunswick is. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
and all
You're from Toronto. You're from big city.
Toronto. Like, I don't know. You what? You know what's what?
Yeah.
All the way out there, and then you know you have guys going to like all these different states and stuff. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, that's what seems like. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get me there, but it's really just it's about finding your own path, like going where they want you. I could have probably gone to the States and ended up somewhere where they didn't really care about me. They just want my money or like, you know what I'm saying? Just wagging along. But I went to RNS with a coach, you know what I'm saying, wanted me and I could go somewhere where I could develop as a player. You know what I'm saying? So like
that's big.
I think just to go back to your question, I think that's important. Like try to just keep trying to develop yourself and keep trying to grow yourself and never stop never keep the main goal. You know what I mean? Like no matter what people say or whether coach believes you or not, because he doesn't determine your success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in God and faith. Like God determines your, you know what I'm saying? Like your end goal. So like whatever a coach believes or doesn't believe, it's not. You don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about getting 1% better every day, just chipping away at it, and eventually like it'll come. Like your opportunities will come, and once you're ready for them, you'll be good.
Yeah. I love what you said, and I like because you mentioned, you know, obviously there's players you play with. Like naturally as players, we compare ourselves with others. We're like, okay,
it's the nature of the sport, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm comparing myself to this. I'm supposed to be better than this player. I'm supposed to be that. But and then after you kind of mentioned that, okay, this opportunity for you to go to another press school, you had no idea
what it was.
Came up. My question to you is what was the main deciding factor for you to be like, okay, I went through this down. I'm going to go there potentially to get a up.
Well, like I said, mostly because like I knew at the school I was at the time, like I knew like there was more for me, and if I wanted to get to the next step, I needed better development. Like I needed to like and be in an environment where I could really focus on getting better and playing basketball. Because that's when I started, you know, to take it really seriously. And like the best option was a prep school, but obviously that can happen in the States. The next best option that was for my parents felt like was a good academic situation as well as like athletic situation. It was RNS for me because then I could go away from all the noise, all the politics in the city, and just go out to nowhere and just work and get better. Like it didn't really matter. I didn't realize at that point, but it didn't really matter where. Like I got better as long as I was getting better. You know what I'm saying? Every day. And I think that's what the deciding factor was, just the opportunity to get better and the opportunity to really develop myself at a higher level more efficiently than I was doing at a regular high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's big. So
Yeah.
you're going through high school,
yeah.
you're going through games, you're going through the season. Obviously, prep school is a bit different than like
Yeah.
regular school,
School,
right?
yeah.
Like, so at what moment does it click that you're like, yo, I might be able to go D1? At what moment you're like, yo?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Mhm. Was there like a moment you remember, like you're like, oh, yo,
I think okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got it. I think when I came back that summer
yeah,
and like I could see for myself like that the work I put in was paying off and like I was much better than guys who I was like maybe scared of
boy.
or wasn't like what I'm saying. I never thought I would be in gyms with these guys. Like
Mhm.
I was just I trusted the work I put in and I was like ready to prove myself, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I just been by myself working and not worrying about anybody else but myself. So
Mhm.
I came back that summer and I was doing things that I didn't know I could do yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I was getting put back dunks and like because I've been working on my body, working my
Yeah.
physique, in the gym all the time.
For those who don't know, you have
Yeah.
bounce. You have some
Yeah.
bounce, yeah.
But yeah, I was doing things that I didn't know I could do, and then once I saw I could do that, I just started getting the confidence. Like, yo, like I can hang with these guys. Like
Mhm.
maybe I'm even better than some of these guys. And then that AAU season, like I had a really good AAU season, and then things just started clicking. Like I'm like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost there. Like I just gotta keep working. I'm almost there. Like
Yeah.
I feel it. Even my parents have noticed because like they weren't out there with me all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they watched some games,
Yeah.
and the season was a little different because I was still finding myself during the school season. But then once summer came, AAU came, like I was like a different person. And even people said to me like, "Oh wow, Sam, you look so different. You look so fit, like muscular, strong." Like because I'd lost so much. Like I was a little bit of I was a little bit of a chubbier kid, like more like a football player.
Yeah.
But then I lost some body fat, came back, I was looking in shape, like, and I was doing, like I said, doing things I didn't think I could do anymore. I mean, or before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what really gave me the confidence to say, okay, like
Yeah.
this is working, like this is working out for me. Like let's
Yeah.
keep going. Like let's see what happens. So yeah.
So you choose Vermont.
Yeah.
What are some deciding factors? So actually take me through the process.
Yeah.
When do you get the Vermont offer?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then kind of tell me what was the reason why you chose Vermont?
Okay.
Because I kind of want to help people understand
Yeah.
how to make a decision on a school.
Okay. Well, my first offer, shout out Coach Mike Skull and all the people at Long Beach State. My first offer was at Long Beach State University, and it was my the MPA. I'm sure you guys know National Preparatory Session at the time.
Yep.
My first session at the MPA, he actually flew out and gave me an offer there. And I was like, obviously that night I was so happy, like crying, like, okay, wow, I finally did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here we are. Like, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then, we were having a great regular season on our dance. Like, I was picking up interest and whatnot, like, doing well. I was getting better every session. And then, boom, COVID hits. A week or two, we're stuck at home. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still getting calls from coaches and stuff, like, stuck at home. And then, boom, Vermont calls me. Vermont's like, yo, we really like you. Like, we want to give you an offer. Like, we think you can do some special things here. And like, I was like, wow. Like, I talked to my parents, like, wow, they just offered me and they haven't even come see me play. Like that means they've been watching the games online. Like and they told me how long they've been recruiting me for, and I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So like that to me was just like, that just showed me how much they wanted me already. You know what I'm saying? Like that they offered me during COVID when I wasn't even playing games. Like,
Yeah.
Like back then, you know how hard it was to get offers. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't just giving out offers to anybody because so much uncertainty. So like I was like, wow, like okay, these guys must really want me, And then I did some research. Steph Smith, my kind of like my big bro, like he went there. He used to go to Bill Curlins with me. He went there, and he told me a little about it. I was like, okay, wow. And then I did some more research. I found out that they make the tournament almost every year. They win their
Every year they
conference.
win their conference, yeah.
And like, so that was a big deal for me because to get to the next level, I know you have to win and you have to like be on that platform, and that's my goal. So that was a big deciding factor. Apart from the fact that they wanted me. Like there's other schools that reached out to me and stuff like, and I probably could have like tried to pursue them, but I didn't see their interest like Vermont. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like they were calling me like almost every day, like to check up on me, to ask how I was feeling, like, you know what I'm saying, to like just be there. And like I think that's a deciding factor when you make a decision like that. Like, how badly does the coach want you? Because if a coach just kind of wants you versus really wants you, like that's the probably deciding factor if you're gonna play or not. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a
Yep.
lot of guys don't realize that going into this decision. Like, okay, you got schools you want to go to, like you have your dream school and whatnot. Like my time at that time, younger, like Kentucky was my dream school, but like
Mhm.
it honestly doesn't matter if Kentucky was my dream school or not. If I got the offer, if they didn't want me like Vermont, because
Right.
I'm gonna get a better opportunity where the coach believes in me
Right.
for real, 100%. Versus like, oh, okay, the coach thinks I'm like, all right,
Yeah, I'm
probably
all
one of the
right.
assistants, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, wanted me more than the actual, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they were highly on me at Vermont. I think like winning was a big part of it. And I'm going into a program where I can develop my IQ, my game. Like I'm gonna develop and get better because they're winning.
And you can win. Yeah.
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 So like it's hard to impact winning at that level. And I'm
Mm.
still learning right now, but it's been a great experience at Vermont so far, like just learning about winning. I've developed so much already as a player.
Mhm.
And I think that, you know what I'm saying, when you're looking at those things, it's very important.
For sure.
Obviously, Vermont's a good academic school as well.
Yeah.
So, they're public Ivy. So that was a big deciding factor as well for me. Yeah.
That's
Uh-huh.
that's dope.
Yeah.
I think so this is like technically like your freshman year. Last year you redshirted.
Yes, I
right?
did. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
was technically my freshman year. Yeah.
Freshman year, yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to me. Give me a recap of your freshman year. Give me a recap. What do you think you got better at?
I think, like I said, I'm still doing a lot of learning,
Mhm.
But compared to last year, I think I've gotten better in the fact that like I started to understand the system a little bit more.
Yeah. So sorry to cut you off. Let's talk about how important was that redshirt year?
Yeah.
Because for people who don't know, redshirt year doesn't count towards your years of eligibility.
It's like it's
Mhm.
kind of like a year off,
Mhm.
basically, for lack of a better term, or like a year on the side.
But you can prepare.
But as you can
better.
prepare, like
Yeah.
you're still with the team, you're still practicing, doing all that. I think it was cool because like it was basically like being a high schooler in college,
Mhm.
like in terms of basketball, like I was just learning. I'm just learning because COVID took away a lot of playing for me and a lot of learning for me. So I think it was cool to do that. And thankfully the coaches gave me that because not every coach. Usually it's a good thing if a coach wants you to like save a year because then you're on scholarship, he's saving you for later. That's usually an honor. So I was thankful for that. But yeah, like it was a really good experience because I got to sit back and actually watch what it takes to win in that. And now I know. We've done it twice, but now I really know. But like my first year, like I had no idea what it took. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the effort, the details that went into it. Like, and I'm happy that happened because like who knows? Like maybe I played and I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Like I, that could have been a possibility, but
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm happy that I got to sit back and get an extra year of experience because that's what really matters at this point. It's like experience and knowledge and like knowing what it actually takes to get to win and go to the NCAA tournament. That's what's most important. Like, so I got to learn that and got to see guys who are like pros now, like go at it with them in practice every day and like watch them do their thing and just get better from that. And I think this year was a little tough for me because I'm still learning. I still haven't played, but
Mhm.
the start of the season I played some, and then you know what I'm saying I didn't play much, and then I played again, and there was a lot of ups and downs. But I'm still grateful because I think that like I'm learning what it takes though, and I'm in the process is still there. Like I said, this is technically my freshman year. I still got 3 more years left,
Mhm.
but like we're still winning, you know what I mean? And I'm still grateful for that opportunity to be able to be part of a winning program because I'm getting better as as a player, as a person too. Like if I was at a terrible program and I was playing 30 minutes a game, it wouldn't really matter because like I'm not developing, I'm not going because I want to get to the next level. Like
Right.
playing 30 minutes a game on a losing team is not gonna help you
Right.
get to the next level.
Right. And like you said,
Yeah.
it's a winning team kind of like helps you develop winning habits.
Winning habits and like
Yeah.
you actually become better as a basketball player, like because you have to be on point every single day in practice. Like you have to be on point, you have to know what to do, and like it's hard sometimes, like because you have to take a seat. You have to always be ready, obviously, but you have to take a seat back sometimes and like humble yourself and say like, okay, like what do I actually need to work on so I can step on that court and be like relied on and called on every single game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize like it's real. Like you're not just gonna, unless you're a phenom, you're not just gonna come in college and like expect to play 30, 40 minutes unless you're on a losing team. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to go to a good program with a good set of players, like you're gonna have to wait your turn a little bit. And like I didn't realize that coming in. I thought I was hoping to play right away, but you know what I'm saying, reality hit pretty hard. But
Because
it's part of the process, you know.
I hear that a lot. A lot of players are like, "Yo, I'm going to college.
Yeah.
I'm a kill."
Yeah,
And I'm sure you heard that. So
It's
talk
hard,
about
man.
kind of like
hard.
talk about the process. Like you come in, there's guys that are older than
Older
you.
than you, like grown ass man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
23, 22,
yeah.
24, like
And they're not letting 19, 20-year-old
18-year-old
take 16 shots again.
Yeah, it's not happening, man. So
Like you
especially
said,
at the
unless you're female.
yeah, unless at the mid-major level, especially, like it's hard to come in and do that. So like my biggest suggestion to you would be just be ready to learn, be ready to like pick up things quickly. The quicker you pick up things, the more reliable you are. And the more reliable you are, the more the coach trusts you to be on the court. Because it comes down to executing. You know what I'm saying? Coach can trust you to execute and make the right plays every single time and be consistent every single time. Like you're gonna play, and that's what I've been learning. You know, my last 2 years at Vermont. Like the guys who play the most are the guys coach relies on the most and like trust the most. You know, and like in moments where I've been trustworthy, I've played a lot. Moments where I've been unsure of myself or lack confident or overthought things, like I haven't played well. So I'm just learning like how to balance that. And now I've been an assistant for a couple of years. Hopefully, you know, I've got a hang of things. I can do that at a higher level. But you know, that's the most important thing. Like being able to fit into the system and excel in your role first. And then you can move up to becoming like, you know what I'm saying, the main guy, if that's your goal, or like you can have a bigger role. But like first you gotta be able to contribute to what is already working as a winning team. You know what I'm saying? The guys, I think that's probably for like a high school kid, that's probably the hardest thing to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you want things so quick.
You want things so quick.
And you were talking about, so also as a freshman, you got the chance to play 231 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. How different are 231 minutes in college in terms of intensity, in terms of detail, in terms of you're preparing for that 1 minute you might get?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
231 minutes in college compared to 231 minutes in high school.
Yeah.
How different are they?
I mean, like I said, like if you're D1 prospect in high school, like you take those minutes for granted because you know you're gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? You can like mess around and not, you know what I'm saying? Like in college is there's a lot of pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like and you have to be able to deal with that. You have to find a way to deal with that because like you don't want to play afraid or scared. You don't want to be too afraid to make a mistake, but at the same time, like you got to be able to do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like you might not even touch the ball in those minutes. Like my role is not necessarily to be a scorer right now. Like I'm supposed to come in, lock up, get rebounds, play defense, make the right plays, and like I have to be okay with that because that's what's gonna get me more minutes. And when I'm starting to do those things, like then I can start getting more minutes. But if you don't come in and do what you're supposed to do in those limited amount of minutes, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, like wow, like this is reality. Like I can't mess around with these minutes I have. The minutes are precious because you really, really do gotta earn them. And I know like a lot of coaches say that, like you really do gotta earn them at that level. Cause like I said, there's guys they're already fighting against like uneven odds, you know what I'm saying? There's guys who's been there for years. 3 or 4 years already, know exactly what to do, what the coach wants, like they've been in the system. Like so for you to come in and like expect to like overtake their spot, you got to do something different. You got to do something really special. And I think like that's what is going to make you understand like you can't mess around with those minutes you have. You know? So yeah.
Talk about what does a day in a life look like
for me?
For me,
regular school day. I'd say
how many like school, how many times you work out? Because I'm getting a glimpse of it here. We get the chance to see you here, but like talk to us about like when you're in your element. What does a typical day look like?
Okay, so like all right, maybe in the summer when we have summer workouts, I probably like work out before breakfast, and we have like a team breakfast or whatnot, and then around like 11 or 12, we'd have like individual team workouts or then a lift maybe.
So that's
And
two.
then that's 2, and then I come back in the evening and shoot again probably. So like it's about 2 or 3 workouts a day. In between, I'm like either doing summer classes or I'm stretching, rolling out, and just hanging out with my teammates. School days, it's a lot more chill in the summer. You have a lot more time to do, a lot more energy to do stuff. But school year is a little tougher because practices are so long, like 2.5, 3 hours. So in the morning, like I'd say like preseason, I'd probably get in early in the morning, shoot for an hour, 45 minutes. And then I go to classes in the morning, and then I have practice around 12 or 1 till like 3 or 4. And then depending on the day, we might have lift after. So then we lift and then we get out of the gym like 5 or 6. So we're there from 12 to like 6 o'clock.
So it's grueling. You really gotta love it, eh?
Yeah. And then you probably go get some food. And then depending on how old you are, you might have to do study hall. You go do study hall or go to another class you may have. And then yeah, basically your day is pretty much over after that. If you like sometimes I'll get back in the gym if I have time, if I don't have too much work. But yeah, that's about regular. And then on the road,
Yes,
it's a
that's tough.
completely different schedule. Like you might have classes in the morning, then you have practice, and then from practice you're leaving for the game. And then you're going to the game, spend the night there, come back the next day, go to class, But yeah, so it really depends on the day, but like yeah, at least 2 to 3 times a day I'm working out. Yeah, yeah.
So talk about those practices,
Yeah.
right? So I see you do a couple of things that I think I
Yeah.
want a lot of players to kind of understand
Mhm.
is I know a lot of players kind of look forward to games,
Yeah,
but like when you have practices,
right.
right? Talk about the importance of, especially if you're a player looking to get
Get
a
minutes.
role,
Yeah.
get minutes.
Yeah.
Talk about how important it is to get ready for the practices.
Yeah. I learned that kind of like towards the end of my freshman year and this year, really. My actual freshman year. I think like coming in, I thought like it was like a lot like high school, I'm just come in like just practice, but like you kind of, especially because it's such a busy day, and like for me, I'm the type of person like, what I'm saying, I think a lot. So like I kind of have to have a clear mind coming into practice and like focus on what's on, because like my mind could go elsewhere so quickly. Like I can still be thinking about what I just learned in class on the court, and you can't really have that happen because it's like you need to be able to pay attention and execute what coach is saying. Like there's no second chances like high school. You might be the best player there. Like coach is like, all right, whatever. Like we need him. So like you have to be able to pick up things quickly. And I think like for me, what I learned to do is just like kind of either like meditate before practice, do some breathing, or just listen to music and get there early, get some shots up, because then you're in that mode. Like then you're ready to work and have a good practice. Like it's kind of like it's practice, like at that level, it's like an addition for the game. So like you kind of almost have to literally prepare for like it's a game.
It's a game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm learning too. Like the more consistent you are in practice, the more the coaches can depend on you. If you do the exact same thing every day in practice, coaches know what they're gonna get from you. Like they can put you in the game with confidence.
Yeah.
But like if you come in and like one day you're like terrible, next day okay you play great, next day you play okay, like you're all over the place. So they don't really know what they're gonna get from you that day. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to learn like having a routine before and after practice is gonna help you stay consistent. Even now in high school, like it's gonna help you be so much better. Like, and it's all about routines, because you do really practice. Like for me, practice doesn't really change. But I know what I'm gonna do every day, but like it's like, am I ready to do those things? Like, I know what's gonna come, and that's how it is at most schools. Like, I know exactly what drill we're gonna do, exactly what time, but like if I'm coming in more prepared because I've done my routine, like I'm ready to go. If you need to get taped, if you need to go stretch out, do that before practice. Don't like wait till last minute. If you need to grab food before practice, you know what I'm saying? Get there 30, 40 minutes early, stretch out, grab tape, shoot around, like get ready for practice, because like it's a 2.5, 3 hours practice. Like you need to be ready for it. It's not just a quick 1 hour, like go up and down a couple of times, like do a couple plays and leave. Like it's like there's drills, there's sets you have to understand. There's drills that you have to compete with. Like you play at the end, like you have to remember everything. So it's a lot more like intense, you know what I'm saying? So getting your mind and your body ready for that is I think very important too.
It is.
Yeah.
So let me throw two questions at you that I think that are on my mind, but I'd love to hear your answer on those. Okay. So how can, because obviously as players, basketball players, you want to play games, right? And we just talked about the importance of like practices and how deep they are, how important they are at your level, right? But let's say a high schooler, or even like let's say a high schooler for the sake of this question. How does a high schooler stay motivated even when they don't have games per se?
Yeah. Like,
is there a way to get to stay motivated?
I mean, I kind of felt that during COVID, you know what I'm saying? I didn't play as much. And it was definitely hard. Like, I don't think there's just one single way to do it, but I think for me, just remembering, like, what helps is remembering where I want to get to. Like, the work doesn't stop just because I'm not playing, you know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, that's the opportunity. Like, off seasons became very important for me after I went to RNS. Like, I realized, like, how much work you have to, like, actually put in the off season. And, like, you just have to keep, like I said at the start, like, keep the main goal. So everything you're doing, even in life, like, how is it getting you closer to your goal? I think remembering that is gonna help. Like, okay, am I gonna go to bed early tonight, or am I gonna go hang out with my friends till 3 a.m.? Like, on a weekday, on a Sunday night when I know I work out the next day. Like, so those little things, you know what I'm saying? Like, remembering those type of things keeps you motivated and keeps you on the right path. Cause like, the end goal is the end goal. I'm not saying like don't have fun, obviously do your thing, but like, it's like keeping the main goal is gonna help you like stay on path, stay motivated, I think. And like remembering that your end goal is not high school basketball at Orangeville Prep per se.
Yeah.
Like, your end goal is like pro or D1. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you actually getting towards that in everything you do, every step you take, like every choice you make, you have to kind of keep that at the back of your head. Because like, that's that's a life goal of mine. And like, I have to always be conscious of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was your biggest adjustment on court and off court? What was your biggest adjustment from high school to college?
Like, it was the hardest thing to adjust to?
The hardest thing to adjust to.
I think the pace of the game and like picking up things quickly and understanding, like, and not just playing off like my natural instinct. Like, like I said, I tend to overthink things as a player, like when in situations like that. So just learning how not to overthink, but still like being able to play smart basketball and pick up things quickly. I think that was at a high pace is what was tricky for me, because like I just wasn't used to like playing basketball like that. I was used to just running gun, like defense, run the floor, like play freely. But like, I'm coming to a system where, they have things certain ways for certain reasons. So like, understanding that and like understanding how to fit in and like execute was a big thing for me. I think on the court. Off the court, I think like prep school did a good job of preparing me, but like it all goes back to, I think, time management. Like, you're really like, no one's really watching over you anymore. Like, I say prep school and high school, you have like teachers holding your hand to a certain extent and like people like watching over you, but like there's like a different level of freedom. And like, if you don't manage your time correctly, like you can get easily off track or lost. Like, you got to go to class, you got to make sure you get your work done, because no one's like telling you, oh, like, oh, you have study hall this and time, this and that time. Like, you have to, like, if you don't go to study hall, like, no one's gonna make you, but if you don't go, it adds up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you don't get your work done, it adds up.
Yeah.
And then you're scrambling last minute to get everything in. It's just adding extra stress. Then you have to study the scout for the next game. You have to be at practice. You know what I'm saying? You have to worry about what you're gonna eat.
Yeah, and then like if you're,
it just piles up,
exactly, it becomes like almost like that snowball effect, and then you kind of feel overwhelmed.
So just managing your time. Like I said, like having a routine is always good to have, because like you know what to expect, and you know like when you're gonna do certain things, and like you can check things off your list every single day by having a routine. Like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m. no matter even if I don't have class that day. Wake up at 8 a.m., get some food, maybe watch some film or do some homework, go to class, practice, and then do what you need to do to get things done. But yeah, I think having a routine off the court is very underrated.
Yeah.
And very like oversaw. So I think that's one thing piece of advice I would give. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I have to ask,
Uh-huh.
you guys got the chance to go to March Madness.
Yes.
How was that?
It was cool, man. Like my second year was still really cool. Like you can't take stuff for that, like for granted. And that's what it's all about. Like, you know, we were all there, we were all grateful. You know, we're all ready to take care of business, obviously, but you know, that's what it's all about. Like it's a lot. I'm very fortunate because even though I didn't play too much, like I got in the game and like I scored a basket, you know what I'm saying? And like that's something I can say I did throughout my lifetime. Like, a lot of people who played Division I basketball, or maybe even better than me right now, can't say they did. You know, so like, and just the journey getting there. Like, I remember at the start of the season, like we thought we were gonna lose. Like we didn't think we were gonna be good at all. We were playing not so great, and then you know we found ways to get better every day, and we did great in conference, and we won the championship. And like, you know, just looking back at the journey and how much it took to get there, and like actually being there at that stage, like being on TV and like seeing guys you see on TV and like just being in that atmosphere, like it's something you just can't really explain. Like you just gotta be grateful for opportunities like that, man. So like I said, I'm very blessed, and I'm happy I got to share it with my teammates because it's a beautiful moment for sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful moment for sure.
What
And there's a lot of perks too.
There's a lot of games.
Private flights to wherever the event is.
It is
you know
the
what I'm saying?
food.
Food, yeah. So it's a lot of perks too,
Yeah.
which is cool.
You get your
man.
own room?
Get your own. Nah, actually, I share with
You
a
should,
roommate,
but
it's big enough. Like,
it's
it
big
feels like
enough,
your own
yeah.
room, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Steakhouse dinners,
Yeah.
tours here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
I love
Private
that.
just probably the coolest thing because we bring like a bunch of people from the school, like the cheerleaders, the pet band.
Yeah.
Um,
Did your family get to go?
my family did come up, yeah. So that was cool. They got like
Holy.
almost courtside tickets, so yeah. So that was cool, man. Even my one of my middle school teachers came up too.
I love
Yeah,
it. I love it
yeah.
when the people that been there,
And there come,
like
yeah.
it's such a joyous
So,
moment for them
exactly.
to just be
Be
there and
there.
just see you,
Exactly, like
go
wow.
through it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. So that was cool.
So final question, coming back full circle.
Yeah.
What does the Sam of today say to the Sam of high school?
Ooh, that's a good.
What
That's
is
a good question. I think for me, I would say like in terms of basketball, I would say watch film, study the game, understand the game, understand. Yes, you're athletic, you're strong, you can do all these things. Understand the game. That's gonna help you when you come in. You know what I'm saying? Understand the game. Actually watch basketball because like that's something I wish I picked up on earlier. You know, because I wasn't as used to it. Like the way that we watch film in Vermont. Yes, we watch film in high school, obviously, but it's not as detailed. It's not as thorough. You know what I'm saying? So I wish that was something like I knew. Like just my understanding of the game. I wish it was higher coming in from high school to college because then I would have been so much better off. And like I would also say to myself, like, be confident in yourself. Like, don't lose your confidence just because something happened or like things didn't go your way right away. Like, be confident in the player you are. You come this far, you know what I'm saying, and you put in all this work. And I'm still telling myself that today. Yeah. So like, just be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
And like, play basketball, play winning basketball too. Like, play to win. Play to win. Yeah. Don't just play to play and go through the motions. Don't just play to like try to prove you're the best guy. Like, play to win. You know what I'm saying? And play winning basketball. That's something I would tell myself too. Yeah, always. Because I know I can play winning basketball.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I'm not really thinking about that. When I think my freshman year, like I was really thinking about that. I was thinking more like, oh, like I should be playing. Like, why aren't I playing? Like, but like, what am I actually doing to help the team win? I wasn't really doing anything yet because I didn't realize, you know, what it took. So yeah.
Sam Alamutu, thank you so much for spending the time. You got one. You got
one on the belt.
It's like you said, the off season is super busy for you. Thank you for taking the time, sharing the knowledge that you have with players. You know, we're looking forward for you guys to be able to go back to the madness. You know.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And like obviously, like I hope this helps some guys out there and gives them confidence and like the courage to like go get it, man. Like go get your goals, go reach your goals, you know, but like put in the work and actually like do what it takes to get there. So yeah, for sure. Thank you.